Hello folks, welcome to OTD, also known as On the Deck, where you can get all the sports you need in 10 minutes. My name is Adam Arduna, this is my mom Gina.
He is the journalist.
She's the enthusiast.
I am really enthusiastic because it's another golf day. We get to talk about golf.
Day. Yes, we have the U.S. Open
Woohoo!
taking place today. Today is Thursday, and so it will take place the entire weekend. We have 4 days of the U.S. Open, and is taking place in Erin, Wisconsin. Erin, Wisconsin. It's the first year that this tournament's being held there, so there's a lot of new adjustments for the players as they are going to be on the course. There's not a lot of trees. There's limited water there as far as like the water hazards and things like that. But they said that the rough is pretty rough, meaning the rough is long, and so
well, they're like, it's long, it's deep, and they're like, you could lose your ball in that rough. That's how bad it is.
So you have to be very persistent. They were saying, there are some golf courses where you can be off a couple shots.
Sure.
They say if you're not a marksman in this one, it's going to be tough. So we're excited because we've got some people who want to highlight. And
can I talk about the course a little more, though?
Yeah, let's talk about the course.
Because, you know, very often you're playing, obviously you're playing fours or you're playing against other guys, but you're playing the course in golf. Well, here's some things this course wants you to know about itself. Most courses are about 6 miles a walk, all the way around, course from hole to hole. This one is 9 miles.
Right.
One of the commentators today was saying he walked it and got shin splints from walk because it's very hilly and the roughs. And then there are 4 par 5s on this course.
That tells you how difficult the holes are. When you got that many par 5s, it means, like you said, the distance is so long, they're giving you extra chances to
try to get in
your shots.
Apparently it's been raining up in Wisconsin, so that the greens are soft, and it's just, I think that the course is going to be the big, I mean, obviously you're always playing the course, but it's not optimal conditions up there right now.
It's definitely not. Well, we were listening earlier to some of the commentators, and they're saying that back in the day it used to be, are you going to take Tiger, or are you going to take the field? Well, right now there really isn't a Tiger that you could just say is going to just own it, but Dustin Johnson is kind of taking over the Tiger Woods role in this era of golf, and so he didn't play, or he didn't participate in the Masters. He fell down the stairs, injured his back and his elbow.
Why do I laugh at inappropriate things? Because I know that's not funny, but
yeah, we don't know what actually happened, but there's always
we know what we think happened.
Right.
We picked
Ricky Fowler and Jordan Spieth for our people to kind of keep our eye on. They are still in the field. There's some other guys out there that have a pretty good chance that still finish pretty well in the Masters. But it's going to be interesting. We'll see how it is. It's broadcasted on Fox FS1. It'll be replayed on the regular Fox networks later on in this afternoon. But again, this is a 4-day tournament. We'll see how it goes.
Well, it's really interesting, too, because going back to the Masters, you know, Dustin he's the #1 player in the world.
Yes.
He's won 9 of the top 3 tournaments.
Yes.
I know he's won the U.S. Open a couple of times. But he did fall down accidentally down the stairs, and they're saying that he had a deep bruise in his back, and he was saying his elbow still hurts, but he thinks he can, you know, do the U.S. Open and handle it pretty well. But, you know, Jordan Spieth has kind of fallen off. He was my pick for the Masters because he won a couple of years ago. Your boy was Ricky Fowler, and I think, you know, if we're taking our top picks, well, let's talk about who the whole field is. Some of the top names people would know, and then we'll do our picks.
Well, one of the big names that's not participating in this tournament is Phil Mickelson. He withdrew from this year's tournament because of his daughter's graduation.
Which is the right thing to do, because let's pause on that.
First. Yeah,
because he got a little heat about that.
He
People were like, oh, I think he, you know, he could have had, if they expect him to have everyone's graduation moves so he could play the U.S. Open.
Right.
But, you know.
It's not his fault that the dates just fell on the times that they did.
Well, and don't athletes kind of get heat when they say, hey, I'm not going to a game because my wife's giving birth, or, you know.
Paternity leave.
Exactly, stuff like that, or family things. This is the exact right thing for Phil Mickelson to be doing. You have those once-in-a-lifetime moments with your kids, and you have to take them.
Yeah, Phil's a great golfer. He's a pro. It's not a big deal if he's not at this one. I mean, of course, there are all the Phil fans that want him to be there.
Including us. We love him.
But, hey, you know, family first. And so Sergio Garcia, who did finally get his first Masters victory this year. He is participating in this tournament as well. Bubba Watson, who did not have a good showing in the Masters, is also participating. We got Justin Rose, Rory McIlroy, who finished strong at the end of the Masters. And so We'll see how he comes out. Obviously, Jason Day, who was one of the big names in the Masters as well. Always keep an eye on him. He's one of those guys. And then Lee Westwood and Zach Johnson as well. Guys that are always competitors, guys that can be right in there. And we obviously highlighted Jordan Spieth and Ricky Fowler.
And then your boy Dustin.
And then Dustin, we'll see how he goes. He's got a big drive. This is a big course, as you said. 4 par 5s, 9 miles long around the course.
That's a lot of walking to do.
A lot of walking.
That's
You're
true.
in your golf cleats, and so they're not very comfortable. So
you're not out there in, you know, the New Balance,
exactly,
New Basics, your Asics, or your Pumas. You're out there in these golf cleats.
And since this is a new course, it's going to be different as far as the way the ball's going to roll down the fairway, and you have to be precision when you're driving the ball. And so there's a lot of things that you have to really keep your eye on when you're out there.
Well, and golf is really, you know, we've talked about golf is a game where you have to be mentally tough.
Right.
And I think any mental errors are going to get you. You, like we said, you don't want to be in the rough.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's also like, I don't know how my ball's going to roll and react.
Right.
So let's say you hit it and it reacts a different way. If you get like I do on the golf course, you know, and I'm throwing my club, you're dead. You know what I mean? You're going to have to be able to shake that off, figure out, okay, this is how the course is going, and go back in there.
Yeah.
Now, these guys are all the top in the world, so I'm sure they're not having a Gina reaction on the course, but it will get to some people.
It will get to some people. And as we do tend to wrap up here, Ricky Fowler is still looking for his U.S. Open victory. He has not made the cut in the last few.
I know.
So he's really looking to get over that hump. I think he was in the lead the last time I checked, as they already teed off at 10 a.m. Central Time. But there's some other guys that aren't teeing off till later in the afternoon. So, you know, it's an all-day thing, and we'll see how it goes. I'm interested to see with this new course, being up there in Erin, Wisconsin, you don't know how it's going to turn out until people figure it out. They said the winds are a little bit stronger than what they thought it was going to be for today. But, you know, again, we'll see. It was more with that first hole that they said that the winds were more of an issue.
Where they're cutting across.
There's no trees to block it, so they were saying it's very similar to like a British Open or something like that.
Yeah, kind of. Well, here's the interesting thing, you know, some little golf facts. When we talk about making the cut, it's a 4-day tournament. The first 2 days you go through and you play the full course, and they take whoever's the lead, whoever has shot the best game at that point, and then they give you a certain number of strokes to be behind that person. Yes. So unfortunately for Ricky Fowler, he's never been close enough to the leader coming out of day 2 to make it to the final round. So that's how they cut people down. Yeah. For some reason, Vegas has their odds on Ricky this year. He is the 12 to 1 favorite. So that's your boy.
Hey, we'll see if he can get it done this year. I'm excited.
I have one last question for you. How bad does golf need the bad boys or the swag boys? You got the bad boys, the swag boys, and then you have the country club guys.
Yeah, of course. You know, you're always going to have the country club guys. Or
and I think Jordan Spieth is kind of the country club guy.
He very much is.
Then, of course, you have your old guys. But you know what I mean?
But yeah, a Ricky Fowler, Dustin Johnson, these are guys that kind of toe the line a little bit. They're out there in the public a little bit more. You need those guys because it keeps the sport interesting. It keeps the game fun and active. You got guys you can cheer for or root against.
Right.
You need those guys.
Right.
Not that Ricky's really a bad guy, but he's
your swag guy. I would say Dustin Johnson's your bad guy, Ricky Fowler's your swag guy, and Jordan Spieth's your country club guy.
Right, exactly.
You know, and then everybody else is either your old guys.
Rory's
you know,
kind of a bad guy, but
Rory.
a good guy. Sergio's kind of a bad guy.
Yeah.
Bubba's a good guy. You know.
Yeah, you got your categories to root for.
Right.
But without Tiger was your total swag guy, and he could win, and he could kill the game.
He was awesome.
So you got to have some of that.
It was fun to watch. That's what these young guys are good for. You get into it with them. They come out in their different colors. They got their visors. They got their sponsorship. They're young. They're active. And that's what golf needs. As long as Tiger is out of commission for the most part, you need Ricky, you need Dustin, you need Rory, you need these guys to step up. And so we're going to watch this very closely.
Well, I'm excited. I'm telling you what. I mean, the U.S. Open is a good time.
We're going to be tweeting about it. We're going to be watching
living on my best life.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yes, exactly.
I'm excited for it.
It's awesome. And so as it's the summertime, it's going to be golf season, and so we're going to keep watching the tournaments as well. So we want to say subscribe to our YouTube channel, type in my name, Adam Orduna, like our Facebook page, type in OTD, and we'll see you again, folks.